YouTube and welcome back. I thought we would do something different today and I thought I would show you how I cook one of my recipes. My partner has requested granola for the week, and rather than buying the store-bought granola, I thought I would show you how I make it just because it's really easy. It's using a bunch of like pantry staple ingredients and it just tastes way better. So for this one, I kind of change it up every time I make it, but for this one I've just got maple syrup, coconut oil and almond butter. You can use whatever sort of nut butter that you want, but I like almond butter. So that'll be sort of like the liquid ingredients that we put in the base first. And then we've got oats, sultanas, chia seeds and cinnamon. I would normally put like some nuts in there, but I'm wanting to use the nuts that I have left in making some muesli bars, which I might make tomorrow. So you can add nuts. I've also done it with like cacao powder, coconut, so like whatever you have, you can kind of like throw it in, whatever kind of flavor profiles that you do like. This is one of my favorite ones. I'll show you how to make it, and trust me, you'll never buy granola again once you do this. Okay, so before we put all the ingredients together and mix it all up, we're going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees. That's the temperature I cook it on. You can see some recipes that cook it on other temperatures for different durations, but this is how I find it works best and how I like to cook it. So 180, and then we'll mix all this up while that's preheating, and then by the time it's ready, the oven will be heated and then we just pop it in. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to melt my coconut oil. So I'm just going to get 30 grams of that and pop that in the microwave until it's melted, and we'll pop the rest of the ingredients in for the base. That was exactly 30 grams anyway. Okay, so now that that is all melted, we're going to pour that into our mixing bowl. Then we're going to go in with the rest of the ingredients. So maple syrup, 75 grams. Pure maple syrup is what I use. I know a lot of people like the sugar-free one, but this one tastes so much better, but also two, normal maple syrup contains like antioxidants and minerals and stuff, so there is health benefits. Of course, lots of sugar, it kind of is like in the context of your whole day, but I find, yeah, that pure maple syrup is always best. So 75 grams. Then we're going to go in with almond butter. So this is just like my recipe, how I write my stuff down. We're going to go in with some almond butter. You can use like peanut butter or like another nut butter that you like. I personally really like almond butter in this. So we're just going to mix that up to start off with, just to make sure that it's all combined. And then we're going to go 100 grams of almond butter. Cool, and then we're just going to then mix that all so that the liquid ingredients are combined. And then we just get a better distribution over the dry ingredients once we pour them in. So it doesn't take long to mix together. Just in general, I find that maple syrup and almond butter together makes just like the most delicious caramelly sauce. So you can see that that's already combined. Then we're going to go in with our dry ingredients. So firstly, rolled oats, not quick oats, you want it to be rolled oats, and we're just going to add in 160 grams of those. Then we're going to use some sultanas. My partner loves sultanas. I was also going to use these for my muesli bars that I'm going to make, but I think I'm going to have to buy more. So I go 50 grams of sultanas. They're just like a nice little fruity pop that you get mixed into it. Now, if you don't like sultanas, you obviously don't have to add them in, but you can if you like, and you could also like substitute it for like another dried fruit, like dried apricots or something like that. Then I'm just going to add in a splash of cinnamon. Again, this is your granola. You can make it how you like it, but I like cinnamon, and you can leave it out or you can add it if you like. And then I just add in some chia seeds. Now again, you can really just do what you like in terms of nuts and seeds. I have chia seeds at home, so that's what I'm adding. And I just go in with about 30 grams. Cool, and that's it. And now we just mix that until it's coated in that little base that we made before, which again, it'll mix quite easy because there's enough sort of liquid to coat it. So just mix, mix, mix until it's kind of like a moist, I know some people don't like that word, but a moist, oaty looking texture. Gorgeous. See, it's not hard at all. And that is what it should sort of look like. I've popped some parchment paper on a baking tray. Kind of like a long one is a good tray to use for this kind of recipe. Then we're just going to pour that out. Sorry if my arm is in the way. Just pour that out onto the tray. And then you're just kind of going to like smush it down into like one flat layer. And the reason being is that it's going to bake like this. Once it comes out of the oven, we're going to let it fully cool like this. Then we're going to break it up into little pieces. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that is she. Now we're going to pop that in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll check it at like the 10-minute mark. I'll rotate the tray halfway and then pop it back in for another 10 minutes, check on it. And if it's not golden enough still, then I'll pop it back in for another 5, but 20, 25 minutes is a good amount. And then I'll show you once it comes out. Okay, so we've just pulled it out of the oven. That was exactly 20 minutes and it's nice and crisp and golden. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna let this fully cool until it's like cold to the touch. Not cold, but like room temperature. And then I'll come back and we'll break it up. So now it's completely cooled. You just wanna just break it up and it'll crumble apart. This makes like roughly 400 grams of granola. And if you do 40 gram servings, it's like 10 servings. I like mine a bit chunkier, but you can break it up as much or as little as you want to. That is good enough. And then you just get an airtight container. And you pour it in. Made a little bit of a mess. That's okay. And then that will store in that for 7 days in an airtight container. And you've got homemade granola. And now we have to do the taste test, which is a requirement for everything that we make. So, so good. I love granola. So that's my recipe. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you want to see other recipes, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Granola. 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 Granola.